Ozzie Jurek is going to be there, and I'm going to bring him on right now. Ozzie Jurek, of course, has been chronicling the decline. This is the only show to do this and the first show to do it. And my wife says you shouldn't say stuff like that, but I tell her, no, the whole point of being in economics and investment is to get it right. So, one, I'm proud of the fact how many things we get right on Money Talks, the quality of the guest I bring forward who gets it right. Ozzie's been doing that for years for us. But lately, though, we started to talk in May specifically that the peak in the real estate market, for example, in Greater Vancouver, which seems to be a big driver of federal public policy across the country, had peaked. Well, we get more verification of that this week with the numbers. Ozzie, thanks for taking the time as usual. I know you've been doing a lot of work. It's been a busy week, but let's get the highlights of the numbers just to give people across the country the flavor of it, as I say, because they're saying, hey, I don't live in Greater Vancouver, but I say, why do you think they put the new mortgage rules in? And we'll get to that in a moment, too.
Yeah, Mike, it's sort of a little disconcerting because there's so many different numbers in the marketplace, right? So the Vancouver boards and several boards across the country have decided to publish a benchmark price, which is sort of a price which tries to figure out a typical house composed of lot size, age, and so on. We use, in our company at Jurex Insider, we use the average price. We've been doing that for 25 years, and we never really had a problem. But now the divergence is amazing. The average price is reported at being $904,000 in October, and last year it's been reported at $953,000. Clearly, we had a 5% decline in the average price in Vancouver. At the same time, the board reports a benchmark price of an increase of 24.8%. So clearly, somebody is wrong here. From our point of view, the average price reflects this particular market, and when we look at this market, it's down by 5%, and if we measure our average price from October against the average price achieved in April, we're down 17%. And when you look on the inside, whether it's the west side, the east side, or Richmond, the real number that's taken it on the chin is the single-family home, both in the number of sales and in the average price. So the market had come down really, and you and I have been talking about that for months, that we had 30% decline in single-family homes in April and 40% in Richmond in May. It wasn't really the foreign buyer tax that was just a clincher, sort of the add-on. We were already well on the way into a decline.
But, there are a couple of keys there. One is, I think it is important. We keep hearing the numbers compared to last October. We keep saying alone on this show is that, no, you've got to start from April because that was the peak. And if you want to know what the market's doing, you have to compare with April. As you just said, down average price down 17%, from April. The volumes are down. It doesn't matter. Condos are single detached, and the other thing, just to put in the mix, we watch governments reacting too late, the media reacting way too late to this story, now it's down. And we're going, yeah, it's down since April. And,
we couldn't do any worse. We're already on the way down, and now they're bringing in all sorts of rules to really put us under, the numbers on average, again, the total sales are 38%, but when you look at the single-family sales average on the west side in October was down 52%. We sold 79 homes versus 164 in last October. But against April, we're down 66%. In the east side, down 71, and Richmond, a whopping 68% over last year, 63 this year, 194. So this is reality. Now in Vancouver, the condos are doing better. We're only down about 23%. And the crazy thing is in the Fraser Valley, same thing, single-family homes down 50 to 60% in all market areas, whether it's Langley or Surrey. But the condo market is actually counter-trending, and that shows the question is affordability there. We've been telling our investors for years, go to Raleigh, go to Surrey, go for cash flow. And so here we have an area in Abbotsford, for instance, we're down 25% in single-family home sales. We're 80% higher in condo sales. In Mission, we were down 19% in home sales, 50% higher in condo sales. And the whole marketplace, Langley was down 33% in single-family, up 74% in condo sales. So it's no longer possible saying the real estate market is sort of this one thing. No, it's area by area, and it's product by product.
I want to come to a couple things there. One is that, keep in mind, single detached family homes in Vancouver were 1.8, basically let's just call it 1.8 million in April, but they dropped to 1.6 million in October. So there's that price decline. I just wanted to highlight that. But here's the other thing. Quick question, Ozzie. I'm thinking that, again, it all relates. We've got these record low interest rates. I was alluding to earlier that the government isn't projecting any kind of robust change in economic growth for the country. So I don't see any pressure upward. So again, I'm looking at some of those condo prices, in the outlying areas out of Vancouver, and it'll be applicable, I think, at some point here in Calgary too, and in Edmonton, for example. It happened in Victoria, but there's a chance to get some yield here. They cash flow when you're looking at condos under $300,000.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Janet said it earlier quite right. People go where the jobs are and where people move in generally. I mean, Surrey is about 1,200 people a month going there. You can buy a nice two-bedroom, brand new two-bedroom, two-bathroom home for under $300,000, rented at $1,200 to $1,300, and you have cash flow. So in that search for cash flow, you don't have it in Vancouver, and you're going to be safe. I think long-term Vancouver is going to be fine, but we're going to go through some dips, and that we just always overdo that. We overshoot it on the high. And now you add all these new mortgage rules, the stress tests, and all that is designed to even make it tougher, and sales will slow down further.
Let me just come back. We only got a minute or so left here. I want to come to that. I'm going to get my shoulder out of joint. I'm going to the hospital immediately because I'm patting ourselves on the back here at Money Talks. And that is, we said one of the things with the new mortgage rates is it's going to reduce competition and it's going to put the big banks in the driver's seat. And lo and behold, here we got the TD raising rates because there's less competition in that market, and it's not good for consumers.
It's exactly it. The whole idea was that the six largest banks would be, creating a buffer against a bad market. But since they set the bank rate itself, it's like the fox guarding the hen house. We said it was an early Christmas present to the six big banks. Get rid of all the competition, the fringe banks, and then we can raise the rates. And that's exactly, they didn't wait very long. 2 weeks after the announcement, the TD comes out with variable rate mortgage interest increase. It's not that much. It's 2.85 from 2.7, but it's the thin edge of the wedge. They're raising rates, and of course the TD is all, in this time the first, all the other big banks will follow. Now the prime rate for fixed rate mortgage is still unaffected, but you can see that since they set the rates, they set the prime rates, they can do whatever they like in terms of what benefits them, not necessarily to the buyer or the seller. What it'll mean, it'll again kick out more first-time buyers out of the market, slowing down the market further.
It's always a big news flash for some Canadians that when you increase competition, it's actually a good thing for consumers. We're getting an example of decreasing competition, not good. Ozzie, thanks for a wonderful report here. We'll chat with you next week. And there's so much more to talk about, I know, but we got a good chunk of it today.
Have a great weekend.
You too, Ozzie. Just find him at Jurok.com, Jurock.com, Jurok.com. He's a busy man right now.